The second biggest country on the planet, Canada has no deficiency of delightful scenes and intriguing sights for travelers to explore. From one coast to another, the nation is home to dynamic and socially rich urban areas, alongside mind-blowing normal wonders. In Western Canada, the Rocky Mountains, the Okanagan Valley, and the urban communities of Vancouver, Victoria, and Calgary are the absolute most ideal getaway destinations and habitually overwhelm schedules. In central Canada, Niagara Falls, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City are the absolute most well-known traveler objections. Off in an unexpected direction, yet similarly amazing, is Canada's north, where extraordinary rivers stream out to the Arctic Ocean, making some unimaginable region for canoeists, and where polar bears can be seen QLONG nature. Travelers can explore the far-off excellence of spots like Nahanni Public Park, Great Slave Lake, and the towns and cities of Churchill, Whitehorse, and Yellowknife. For ideas to help plan your travels, see our list of 14 top tourist destinations in Canada. Number 1. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is Canada's most well-known natural attraction, getting a large number of visitors every year. Found a little more than an hour's drive from Toronto, along the American border, these enormous falls drop roughly 57 meters. You can see the falls at an astoundingly close separation from several key points. Niagara Falls and the Niagara Gorge have been drawing in sightseers and thrill-seekers for well more than 100 years. Between the mid-19th and mid-20th hundreds of years there were various endeavors to plunge over the falls in different kinds of natively constructed boats and barrels. This, alongside tightrope walkers and different scenes, prompted the nearby town of Niagara Falls, fostering a fair kind climate that actually perseveres today. Families will partake in a stroll down Niagara's ludicrous Clifton Hill leading to the gorge and falls. Other well-known activities here incorporate a cruise to the base of the falls, a trip up the Skylon Tower for an incredible elevated view, and a look from the lower part of the falls on the journey behind the falls experience. Number 2. Banff National Park, the Rocky Mountains. Banff National Park lies in the core of the superb Rocky Mountains in the area of Alberta, and features a portion of Canada's most gorgeous view. Turquoise-shaded lakes, snow-capped pinnacles, and glacial masses are effectively open in this dazzling park. Take a beautiful drive or head off on quite possibly of the best climb in Banff. The jewel of the park is Lake Louise, where green waters reflect the surrounding mountains and glacial masses, and guests can walk easily around the shores. Simply a brief distance is Moraine Lake, one more great snow-capped lake with an even somewhat more sensational encompassing. The Icefields Parkways, which runs from Lake Louise to Jasper, is a remarkable drive and one more significant fascination in Banff. At the south finish of the recreation area is the wonderful little town of Banff, giving a wide range of choices to convenience, shopping, eating, and nightlife. Banff is likewise a significant winter sports region and home to Lake Louise Ski Resort and Daylight Town, two of Canada's best ski objections. Number 3. Toronto's CN Tower. On the shores of Lake Ontario in Canada's biggest city is the iconic CN Tower, one of Canada's most famous landmarks. The tower stands an impressive 553 meters high and dominates the skyline. At the top, you can find fine dining in the revolving 360 restaurant, and enjoy a meal while looking out over the city and lake. The lookout and the glass floor offer beautiful views out over the entire area. For an added thrill, consider stepping outside of the enclosed area onto the metal walkway for the CN Tower Edge Walk. You'll be harnessed in and then be able to walk around the building, 116 stories, or 356 meters, 1,168 feet, above the ground below. But even those who choose not to go up the tower will find themselves stopping to stare at the structure, which is visible from almost everywhere in the city. At night, the tower is lit in different colors. Number 4. Old Quebec, UQuebec. Old Quebec is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Canada's historic landmarks. Spread across the upper and lower town of Quebec, this area contains the city's most historic buildings. The lower town, along the St. Lawrence River, is the site of the original settlement and home to the outstanding Fairmont-Le Château Frontenac, as well as numerous other treasures. The upper town rests on 100-meter-high cliffs and is home to the Citadel, the Plains of Abraham, Place d'Armes, and the Parquet Historique de l'Artillerie. Old Quebec is one of Canada's most popular historical areas and is well developed for tourism. In addition to the historical sites, other highlights include artists displaying their works en rue du Trésor, interesting museums, like the Musée de la Civilisation, and unique shops and restaurants. Number 5. Whistler. Just a 2-hour drive from Vancouver is the famous ski resort of Whistler Blackham and the year-round resort destination of Whistler. While Whistler has always been an important winter sports area, it has also developed into a popular summer destination, with golf, mountain biking, and a lively town atmosphere no matter when you visit. The village gained international attention in 2010 when it became one of the locations for the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. The area offers world-class skiing, hotels, and dining, as well as a variety of outdoor recreational opportunities and beautiful mountain scenery. Number 6. Ottawa's Parliament Hill. Ottawa's Parliament Hill stands high over the Ottawa River and is graced by the neo-Gothic-style Parliament structures worked in the last half of the 19th century. The most prominent component is the Peace Tower, which separates the House of Commons and the Senate on either side. Before the Parliament structures is the Centennial Flame, lit in 1966 to honor the century of the Canadian Confederation, and behind the structures is a sculpture garden. In the summer, the changing of the guard takes place on the front lawn of the Houses of Parliament, assuming the rain clouds hold back. Below the Parliament slope, a wonderful walk runs close alongside the Ottawa River. Number 7. St. John's Signal Hill National Historic Site. At the entrance to St. John's Harbour, overlooking the city and sea, is Signal Hill National Historic Site. It was here, in 1901, that the first wireless transatlantic signal was received. It also played a strategic role in the 7 Years' War with France, although the current fortifications were built during the hostilities of 1812. The Cabot Tower is one of the key sites of Signal Hill. It was built in 1897 to mark the 400th anniversary of the discovery of Newfoundland. It also now commemorates Guglielmo Marconi's reception here in 1901 of the first transatlantic radiotelegraphy signal, transmitted over a distance of 2,700 kilometers from Poldhu in England. Number 8. Old Montreal. Old Montreal, lined with lovely historic buildings, is a place to go for great shopping and fine dining. While Montreal itself is a vibrant modern city, Old Montreal, down by the waterfront, is where you'll want to go to soak up the atmosphere. Some of the must-see places in Old Montreal include Rue Bonsecours and the landmark Marquet Bonsecours in the Old Town Hall building, the interior of the beautiful Notre Dame Basilica, the lively Place Jacques Cartier, and the 1870s City Hall. Number 9. Bay of Fundy. The Bay of Fundy, located in eastern Canada in between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, is known for its amazing tides. The variation between high and low is the largest in the world, measuring up to a maximum of 19 meters. While there are many ways to appreciate this natural wonder, some of the most popular locations and sites along the Bay of Fundy are the cliffs and rock formations at Hopewell Cape, Fundy National Park, the Fundy Trail Parkway, and Grand Manan Island. Number 10. Gros Morne National Park. Newfoundland's Gros Morne National Park is more remote than many of Canada's most popular national parks, but worth the effort to discover this beautiful landscape of mountains and fjords. The park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site featuring steep cliff walls, waterfalls, and interesting rock formations carved by the glacier-fed waters. Most visitors take a boat tour to appreciate the scenery, but there are also hiking trails and opportunities for kayaking. In winter, the park receives far fewer visitors, but is open for ski touring, complete with backcountry ski huts. Number 11. Vancouver's Stanley Park. One of Vancouver's greatest treasures is the 405-hectare Stanley Park, conveniently located on the west side of the downtown area. Situated on a peninsula, the park is surrounded by the ocean and home to huge red cedar and Douglas fir trees. The seawall, which rings the park, has an extensive walking, jogging, and biking path with designated lanes for walkers and bikers. From the seawall are some lovely views of the city and mountains. A scenic drive also winds through Stanley Park with numerous pullouts. Within the park are the Vancouver Aquarium, scenic Beaver Lake, and the Stanley Park Pavilion and Rose Garden. Also of special interest are numerous totem poles, some of which were erected more than 100 years ago. In the spring, the cherry trees burst into bloom in an amazing display. Number 12. Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park. The province of Saskatchewan and Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park in particular, are often overlooked as places to visit in Canada. A bit out of the way, they attract less tourists, but those who do make the effort to get here are amply rewarded. Wide open spaces, huge skies, and abundant, and rare, wildlife are the norm out here, as is a feeling of peace and quiet. Rent a canoe and paddle one of the many lakes, go for a long hike in the grasslands, or if you find yourself here in winter, strap on your downhill skis and take a few runs. For a bit of frontier history, swing by Fort Walsh National Historic Site and learn what life was like here in the late 19th century. Number 13. Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller. One of the world's premier dinosaur museums, the Royal Tyrrell is not to be missed. Incredible displays of dinosaurs found nearby are impressively showcased in a world-class setting. As you wander through the 13 galleries, you'll be transported back 3.9 billion years to the time that dinosaurs roamed the world. Standing next to these giants will truly make you feel rather insignificant. A visit here isn't all indoors. Be sure to take time to explore the interpretive hiking trails located on the museum property. Number 14. Dawson City. Home of the 19th century gold rush, Dawson City today finds its gold in the pockets of the happy visitors that come to see what life was like back in those crazy days. The town has done an excellent job of preserving the historical architecture of the time. In fact, the downtown core, called the Dawson Historical Complex, is a National Historic Site. The Yukon River runs right by the city, and for a true historical experience, be sure to take a ride on a river paddle wheeler. Canada is a country that has half of its land covered in forests, which should come as no surprise as 1/10 of the total forests of the world are in Canada. Thinking about exploring Canada? Here is the perfect list of the great places to visit in Canada on your trip. Take a look at the best places in Canada and choose which ones are you going to explore on your trip. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Also press notification bell to notify you of any future similar videos.